Good evening, y'all. Let me see if I stop this music. I don't know if you guys could hear it playing or not. It's just something, like I said, I'm new, learning things and getting things up. yes, I dropped my StreamYard also for people that want to come up later on tonight. Uh, right now, as you can see in my title, let's talk about Buffalo. I wanted to talk about Buffalo because I was looking at I was looking at the way people have been acting and doing things here, and we had a tragedy. We had a big tragedy. Uh, 13 people lost their lives due to racism and the things that are going on in this world. Uh, let me see if I can get my chat down there. Yeah. Hello. Well, hey, Miguel, you're saying hello, Natasha. Hello to you. Hey, how are you doing? Uh, yes, thank you. Yes, my prayers are going out to the people in Buffalo, New York right now also. Um, I don't know. I'm just wondering about the world and the way it is today. Uh, good evening, Gerald. Gerald, I'm letting you guys know that I won't be playing any music tonight. I'm just trying to have a discussion and wrap around my head to why this young man of 18 years old drove to a neighborhood supermarket. Predominantly, it's a black neighborhood, black area, and shot and killed 13 people that he didn't even know. He took a 3 hour drive, somewhere uh, to kill people. And the ironic thing about it, it was live streamed, you know, and I'm just I'm just baffled why people are so wicked in the world today. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Gerald. My goodness. Um, I'm just wondering why people are so wicked in the world today. Well, maybe he's not talking to me. Maybe he's talking to Miguel. So, APC 2023. Hello, hi. How are you doing? Yes. Anyway, I was just wondering what people thought about this stuff and their thoughts and ideas on, is racism becoming more rampant, or is it just that we've had our head in the sand so long with a lot of other things that's going on, with a lot of the things that are going on in the world, that we forget about about it until it comes to us. You know, I was looking up online, and and there's a lot of things that are being said about the young man, and how he was dressed in body armor, and they had him in court. As soon as they got him, they talked him. Here's another ironic thing: they talked him down. They talked him down. Uh, that's another thing that got me thinking. If this had have been, and I'm gonna just bring it on out there. They say they don't want us talking about racism and all this stuff, but we have to. If it had have been a black man up in the store shooting and killing people, would they have talked him down? You know, it it's ironic that shit goes on in this world, in our country, in cities, to that. Are we getting immune to things that are going on, or is it that it's just commonplace now? It's just commonplace. So I just want to get some people's opinions up here. And if you want to, you're welcome to come up. My StreamYard was up there earlier. I don't, if Miguel, if you know how to drop it, you can drop it too. But I'll sit up here and try to do it again. Post my comments. I'll get it back up. I'll try to get it back up. Let me hit that. You all about the messengers? What do you mean all about the messengers, Gerald? That's what I'm asking. I just want to know your opinions on the shooting in Buffalo. It's not the messengers that I'm getting. You know. Okay, I'll get it. I'll get it. Don't worry about it. I'll get it. I'll get it. There it is. I've got it. I know how to get it now. So there's no big deal on that. I know how to get it down now. I know how to get it up. That's the StreamYard. If you want to hit the link, folks, to come up as a guest and let's talk about this. And Gerald, I'm interested in your comment all about the messenger. Okay. Okay. But what I'm saying is the shooting. It's ironic. It's ironic that they talked this young man down.
Hello, how are you?
All right. Hey, good afternoon. Good
Good
evening. Can you
afternoon.
hear
Good
me?
evening. Yes, I can hear you.
Uh, yeah. Let me just put my headsets on. I had them off. Okay. Can you hear me, Miguel?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Good. Uh, I was just wondering, knowing that you're in retail, how do you feel about the shooting?
I feel well. To me, it puts me in higher alarm because I realize that if it can happen somewhere else, it can happen where I am,
Hmm.
and then it like brings a little, anxiety is like a little anxiety to go in, and it's making me where I feel like I'm gonna have to watch everything.
Yeah. Yeah. There's an interesting comment up here. APC 2023. You know what? I think you're trolling, but I remember the guy, yeah, that shot up the church and they even gave him food. But those are the things that black people do. They forgive. They forgive. But you have a group of white supremacists out here now that are going around wanting to just shoot up people. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't only just kill black folks, he killed two white people also there in that store. So I'm just saying it's not about remembering what everybody did or what everybody's done. It's the way that things are going now today. Hey, you can troll me, brother. I've been trolled before, okay? And I've been out there, and I'm not going to argue with you. I've been out there. My shit's been doxxed. Everybody knows about me, so I don't care. I'm just wanting to have a conversation with people that actually watch this news and watch things going on in the world. And now they're bringing it out as a hate crime. It is a hate crime. It was a racist motivated crime to which he even had on his Facebook pages how he hated blacks and all this stuff. It's a white supremacist group going around in the country getting ready to make a move on black people. That's my thought and ideas about it. No, they didn't shoot him either. But he, you know what? You're trying to make a double standard on something that is racially motivated. Racially motivated. Do you think? I don't. I don't know. It's getting off. It's getting off topic. I don't want it to get off topic like that. I just want to know people's feelings about the shooting. There's families involved. A whole neighborhood is going in disarray because that store was in a black neighborhood and it was around black people, and it makes me think about places like Rosewood and all that. Uh, a prominently black area where this guy drove 3 hours to shoot up people that he never even knew or saw. Well, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry too if I seen uh I don't know. Am I angered by the story? Yes, I'm angered by the story. But I'm also angered that a lot of people haven't taken time out to really look into it and feel what this world is coming to. It's to me, it's going to hell in a handbasket. We got blacks going against blacks, blacks going against whites, whites going against whites, whites going against people going against each other in a world to where right now our economy is shot out of hand. You know, it's crazy. There's not even not to take away from Buffalo. There's not even enough baby formula to go around in this
Hmm.
country right now for babies. You know, they had a plant to close down because of the formula that they made killed 3 infants. Well, it poisoned 3 infants. Two of them died, and the plant has been shut down since who knows since that happened. So I'm just wondering, what's going on in this country. You know, hello Zion movements. Hello, thank you. Welcome to my chat. And we were talking about Buffalo, and I see right now that things are going to go off in a different direction with things and what we can say and do. You know, but uh, it's just ironic that these mass shootings they're they're brought about through hatred, mental illness, things that are crazy. Oh, hey TC, glad to see you, dear. Yes, yes, glad to see you. Um, and we're just it's just like everything is passe for us now. Ever since the pandemic, uh, we've we're coming out of that, but now we're getting a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. People are killing each other for no reason at all. Parents are killing their children. Uh, we knew that there was going to be a gap in the economy. The economy was going to go up, but right now, as we're expecting it, as I look at it, we're not. We shouldn't be surprised at the things that are going on. Yeah, yeah. They said that on the news too. I hate to say that. Yeah, it does. It looks like Call of Duty. He was crouching down, aiming his weapon, and shooting at people. I didn't see it personally, but there are a lot of people that seen it, and they were talking about it. He even wore body armor. So that goes to show you that he had this is premeditated. There's no if and buts about it, and it was a terrorist act. And now you see all the leaders are coming out now making their statements and talking about the shooting. And they even brought in social media. So this is going to make me wonder now how we're going to be looked at through social media when we try to go live on certain things or talk about certain things or show certain things. Because, yeah, this has layers. Kids are programmed to be numbed. Well, Yeah, I'm not saying that they're programmed. I think that it has a lot to do with the parents too. We don't, as parents, even our younger sets, or even older sets of parents, we don't pay enough attention to what's going on out there in the world, far as that gaming is concerned, or the news that they're watching, or even the programming or the music that they're listening to. You know, and like I said, coming up back then, people used to care about each other. They used to want to help. And now it seems like all we want to do is tear each other down, tear each other up, and talk, and talk about things that are really irrelevant to the things of survival, as surviving, as a neighborhood, as families, as neighborhoods, as a world. Things are not the same as they used to be anymore. They're not the same. Um, like I said, my prayers is going out to all the families in Buffalo, because death, a violent death like that, is you wonder why it happened. And these people weren't doing anything but grocery shopping. Some of them were just probably coming in there to get a jug of milk, or get their child something to eat, or families going in there to get their dinner for the night. And then you have uh, a young, mentally disturbed man then start shooting up the place. So we do have like you said, we do have a lot of layers in this, and a lot of people are afraid to speak up and talk about tragedy when it happens. I i i didn't want to speak on it, but I had to speak on it because I know people that work in stores. I go grocery shopping every day. I don't want to be looking over my shoulders wondering if the next man is going to go berserk in there and start shooting up the place. There has to be an answer to the way that things are going in this world. It has to be. But if it happens that way, so be it. God makes plans for us, but I don't think it's God that's doing this kind of planning. It's the devil may care himself. You know,
Hmm.
some people are just evil at heart. Zion movements, I monitor everything and talk about everything as a parent. I'm invested. Well, I bless you. I bless you. I'm going to say bless you. Okay. There are a lot of parents out there, and I don't want to get too controversial, that really don't give a damn if their kids got anything to eat, or got shoes on their feet. So it's a bare rarity. It's a bare rarity. Um, and I'm not gonna blame parents too. I have to blame the people around that surround the parents, that could be able to see a child doing wrong, and they should be able to say something to him without getting angry at this child, or showing this child, hey, son, you don't need to be doing that. Do you think your mom and dad would like you to do something like this? You know, our schools have taken out certain curriculums that they used to teach, and the Pledge of Allegiance, which I don't care about. I'm not going to talk about that either. But they've taken things out of school, that the kids extra activity, going, you used to stay after school and learn your shop. If you didn't do it today, you can do shop. They had track. They cutting out. The only thing they're thinking about is the money that they can bring into schools. Yeah, you got big school programs with athletes and all this stuff, but we used to go to, after school, we had what we called YMCA's, and boys clubs and girls clubs of America. What happened to those things? You know, what happened to mentors taking children out, teaching them if they're behind in their schoolwork, mentoring them with their schoolwork? You know, we've just forgotten we've just forgotten about a whole lot of things that we used to do, that we used to could do with kids, to keep them out of trouble. So what we do, we sit them in front of a TV set, throw a game in front of them, and expect them to be contented. I don't know. uh, one thing for certain and two things for sure. The young man is, they already gotten him in the court. They've already said, what they're going to do with him. And they're talking about it's an automatic life sentence. So, with no possibility of parole. That's another thing. I would like to know, do you still believe that this country should go back to executions? Ha! Oh boy, now I'm going to start something up real good. You believe in executions? That's all. I just want to ask people in the chat: do they believe in executions? Put a one if you believe in executions. Put a two if you don't believe in executions. When it comes to capital murder, I'm talking about. That's all I'm asking. My the realism the way I feel about it. The terrorist didn't. Okay, the terrorist did not pause. There was no hesitation in him at all. I don't understand why he was only charged with one first degree murder charge, because they're taking it up on a federal level. You see what I'm saying? They're taking it up on a federal level, and when it gets to federal levels, there's different things or different laws that apply to murder or capital murder. Now, he can still be executed if under federal law. I don't think the federal government has stopped executions. Maybe they have. I don't know. TCB Queen, you said one. You're the only one that voted. But yeah, I when it comes to the capital murder crimes, if I know you're guilty by an no reasonable doubt whatsoever, then hey, an eye for an eye. You know, an eye for an eye. But we can make cases of people that have been charged with murder and come to find out through DNA testing and all this stuff and years ago that they were innocent. And you don't never hear them talking about what they did to the person that was wrongly executed for his family. But you always hear about, you know, the backstory, how he got found guilty and why people did things to make him guilty. Okay, two ones, yeah. Capital. You believe in bringing back the capital murder clause? Okay, but
Well,
what
oh,
do you think? What do you think, Ligel? Go ahead.
well, I'm not sure about that. I guess my reasoning for that is because it's to me, I feel like that's the easy way out. I feel like that if you murder somebody, uh, uh execute them, it's like that's the easy way out. I feel like he needs to be in jail forever
Hmm.
and him understand what he did.
Well, I'm quite sure he understood what he did. And here's another thing that I'm saying about that too. Even though he might be in jail forever, don't you know that the state is obligated to take care of him as a human being? They have to provide him three hots and a cot, as they say. I mean, yeah, three hots and a cot. He has he can be allowed to use the internet again, watch television, go out in the yard, walk around to take a good breath of fresh air, to where his victims are in the ground cold. You see?
Oh, okay. Now, looking at it like that, I understand now what y'all are talking about. Looking at it like that.
Because to be honest with you, if somebody murdered somebody in my family, would I want them executed, knowing that they did it? Now, this is without a shadow. I'm saying without a shadow of a doubt. You got the evidence. You got even like him. He's on videotape. You don't leave him. Don't let him live. Take him out. Kill him. Get rid of him. Take him off the face of the earth. Because he can sit up in prison and have conversations with the same type of people that he was having conversations with on his internet streams, on his whatever form of talking or conversing they were doing. You see what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
So I just don't. Yeah, that is so true. Our tax dollars will be used to keep him alive. Right. And then we got, well, if he gets sick, he has to go to the hospital. They have to give him medical care. They have to provide him with all the necessities that, even though you're locked up, the only thing that you don't have is freedom to walk around different places and do different things. That's the only thing that keeps them being different from us. But like you said, it's our tax dollars going to it. You know. But on the same token, our tax dollars aren't going to a lot of things that they should be going to, like mental health, providing places for young people that have problems to go to. They closed down the community counseling center here in our town.
Mm.
It was understaffed and everything. A lot of people didn't come back to work after COVID, um, so they had to shut it down. So, and that's not just here; that's all over the country,
Oh yeah.
all over the country. So that's one reason why I can't. I worked in a prison. I've dealt with people locked up in prison. I've been in there myself. So there is a big difference. There is a big difference in having your freedom, and being locked up, but you still have freedom.
Mm.
So,
Now I understand what y'all are saying. So
I mean, that's your opinion. I'm not trying to persuade your mind or change your mind about anything. That's what I'm up here for, to get people's opinions on things, and to see how they feel about a young man that drove 3 hours away. Took him a drive to drive to a neighborhood to probably where he never visited, and start shooting up people because of his racist views, because of his views with blacks and whites, on his views against blacks and whites. So that's what I was up here for tonight, to talk about it and to kind of get it off of my chest, because I'm just tired of, we as people, we claim to profess and love God and love everything else in life, but we hold those prejudicial things in us. Am I prejudiced to a certain degree? Yeah, but I'm not so prejudiced to where I want to go out and kill up a bunch of white people. No, no. If we can't sit at the table and talk as men, then I'll leave it alone. You know. But no, I'm just so hurt about the shit that's going on in this country right now, and the crisis that we have, and then we have people still in the United States, homegrown terrorists, but yet they talk about terrorists overseas and all that. We have homegrown terrorists, and I'm ashamed. Federal prisons are better than state prisons. Yes, that's true. I agree with that. Hello, Mississippi Magnolia. How you doing, dear? Back to that last statement, as I answered. Yes, federal prisons are better than state prisons, because state prisons are, as you say, state-run prisons, and they don't get the funding. They get so much funding from federal governments, but they don't treat their prisoners. Oh, there's somebody coming on tonight. They don't treat their prisoners the same as a state would, for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know how come, but and a lot of state prisons has what they call blue collar crime workers. Well, they used to have. Hell, they got a bunch of everything now. It used to be, when you went to a federal pen, you went there for blue collar crimes. What they talking about: embezzlement, stealing, even bank robberies. But when you rob the bank and kill somebody, hell, that is still a federal offense. So, and one thing about state prisons now, they're housing some federal prisoners because they're saying the federal prisons are overpopulated. How can that be? I don't know. But right here, and oh, don't forget, people, not only your state prison, but you got county jails that are housing federal prisoners. Why is that? Why is that? It's a money game. It's a money racket. You got some prisons that are privatized. They are privatized. Now, those are the ones that you really get the inhumane punishment, say for a guy going in like for uh, dope. Got well. It used to be. Now I don't know how they're going to change that law. Either smoking marijuana, getting caught with marijuana, uh, housed with murderers and thieves. Where do we draw the line at when it comes to those kind of places to where we incarcerate people, but do we incarcerate them about the severity of the crime, or do we put them all, just lump them all in one lump sum together and just throw away the key? You know, do you put teenagers in with grown men? When I mean teenagers, 13, it starts from 13 on up to 18. Well, 13 to 21. You're still in your teen years. Do you put them in prisons with 35, 45-year-old women? And the same goes for females, too. They got female women out there, young ladies that do things. Do you throw them into a system to where there's grown folks and they've already learned the ins and out of crime, and they're teaching these young people, once you get out, here's how to keep from getting caught, aspects of it. You know, that's what I'd be thinking about and looking at.
So
I
they don't have like juvenile court. I
They
mean,
have juvenile
juvenile
facilities, yes,
facilities or
yeah, yeah. We got juvenile facilities, but here's another thing about the juvenile facilities: they're not equipped anymore like they used to be.
oh, okay.
We have to remember we had a pandemic. Everything was thrown out of whack. So what is going to be normal? When do we get back to the normalcy of living? You know,
I really don't think we will ever get back to the normal. You know, I think now it's more of a new normal because it's like because it's like for like now it's like people have got to the point now where they're afraid to ha- uh, talk to each other, touch each other, and all of this because of the pandemic.
right, right,
So I
right.
think now it's like this is like now it's like the new normal.
New normal or new world order. That's I used to think about that watching when I used to watch wrestling back in the day. They had the new world order, right? So what were
Yeah,
they? What was new world order? Somebody that was different from doing anything that they were doing in wrestling, and the people were loving it. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
But in this age and day and society, the new world order is not what people want.
No, I think people I think people want to be able to, you know, have things back the way it used to be. But now it's like you got pandemic, you got people doing all of these different things, and it's like it's really changing.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's the world is really changing.
Okay,
It's not.
here's another interesting question by Zion Movements. He says, "Do you think we get something put in place federally, just like the Asians, LBGQT, and other protected groups?" Well, when you mean protected groups, we all should be protected, regardless to what we are: Asians, LBGTs, white, black, Hispanic, Haitians. Everybody should be protected under the laws equally. It shouldn't have to take a tragedy for Congress to pass something to make it uh, uh, a federal offense to do something or say something or perpetrate a hate crime. I understand what you're saying, but this should have been done a long time ago. It should have been done long. It shouldn't take the actions of one idiot out there against a certain group of people in order for Congress to act on it. You know, but I I'm going to get off into that some other time about the Constitution and when it comes to blacks, when it comes to Asians, when it comes to different ethnic groups. The Constitution wasn't, it was written years ago when we didn't have all these different types of people coming in. No, they didn't look at, okay, LBGTQ community. They didn't look at people that way then. They were writing for them as per se women, you know, especially women. Women were the last, they were so far on the back burner, it wasn't funny. The man was looking at the, when they wrote that Constitution, they did not write, they say we the people. Where we the people? If we're we the people, why is it that we can't say or help or want to change things to where nobody in this country should be starving. Nobody in this country should be lacking a job. There should be no homeless. You see what I'm saying? So, well, they got it ASAP because, and I'm going to tell you why. You had a president that showed his racial prejudice. Okay. So, Congress, being Congress, they hurried up and adopted that measure. Okay. Because he's the one that really started it all. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. He's the one that gave it the, what did he call it? Disease. You know, blaming the folks from the other country with this pandemic, blaming them for it. People in this country got mad. They were followers of him. They got mad with them, and it snowballed. It's a snowball effect. It's a snowball effect. So what Congress ran up and did, because why? Night. Let's face it. 75% of the country have Asian businesses. They have people from. They do business with people from Asia, from China. Let's talk about it, from China and everywhere else. So why would a manufacturer from China want to build anything over in this country when all its people are getting beat up and the country is sitting back not saying anything about it? That's just like the Haitians. When the Haitians had their hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff, that big flood, what did they do? They came over here for refuge. What they do? Sent them right back. See, there's a double standard when it comes to money. It comes as a double standard when they will let a country that's got people knowing that they're criminals come in because they got the money. A poor country does not have the funding to to you might say give the United States all the time. Mexico, yeah. Look at Mexico. We got people that come up from Mexico every single day. And now, what are the people in the United States doing? They're worrying about the fluctuation of people. And what they're saying now is they're not been vaccinated or they're criminals or whatever. Why don't the government do anything to stop that? Because the manufacturing plants are down in Mexico. Uh, the labor people here in the country use Spanish people, Mexican people for cheap labor. They don't pay them the same as they do an American worker. We know this. They hire them to work in their chicken plants. That's another thing I want to talk about later on down the road. They hire them to work in their plants. Hello, Miss Brown Hester. Glad to see you, dear. We're just having a conversation. Colonizers, well, yeah, we're going back, we're doing history lessons, committed hate crimes for decades, yet still other groups are protected. Systematic, mm, okay. Uh, we're not colonizers no more. We're a country. We're not colonizers no more. history, if we try to go back and live history and everything, relive history the way it was, do you remember that Make America Great Again? No, hell no. America wasn't great back then. It wasn't great because we're so thank you, Miss Brown Hester. We're so uh we have a legacy of where we mistreated a lot of people in this country when they came over to found this country. Not only did the Native American Indians, and they look what they did with them, put them on reservations just so they could have the land. Black people were ostracized. They weren't allowed to eat, vote, drink, go to certain places. This country was is not. It doesn't have it has a rich history, but it also has a history of terrorism with their own people involved, with our own people involved, and we also have a country that doesn't want to admit that hey, we screwed up, we messed up. You know, we pit families against families, we pit men against women, women against women, it's men against men. You know, uh, and so it's not that. Gosh, how do I feel about this country for real? At times, to be honest with you, people, I want to leave. I do. But there are other countries that are worse off than we are. And I hear people from the other countries tell me, no matter how bad it looks over there for us, we wish we could be there with you. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, the United States, we've been a fuck up from the day one. When Plymouth Rock didn't land on, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us, as you know who said it, Malcolm X. So, and from ever since then, we've been fighting for things, for justice, for equality, to be able to live the way that the Constitution says we should live. But like I said before, the Constitution was not written for us. It wasn't written for the Indian. It wasn't written for the Chinese that came over here to help build the railroads, as they say. It wasn't built for the Irish when you look at it, you know. So, yeah, we're a melting pot. But you throw one rotten core into that pot of stew that you're trying to make, and it explodes. It'll spur it all out. Mm.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, anybody's welcome to come up on the panel, Miss Brown Hester. If you want to come up there, let's see. Let me get it. I'm getting ready to try to drop this link again. I'm gonna drop the link. Anybody's ready. I mean, anybody's welcome to come up there and give their opinion about America or the things that's going on in
But like you said, I mean, it was this American was not built for us. It's like they brought us over here,
well, they
you
brought
know.
a lot of people. A lot of people. Well, I wouldn't say brought. A lot of people came over on their own. You know, a lot of people came on their own and found out that things aren't as sweet as they think as they're supposed to be. You know, things aren't as sweet as supposed to be. Oh, okay. You like listening? Well, good, dear. That's fine. But things, like I said, with this country, don't get me wrong. I love my United States of America because there are certain things that I can do that I know in other countries I couldn't do. And then two, we do have places where we can go to seek the help, even though it's hard for us to get the help. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I'm not going to. bash, bash. But there are some things that we have to talk about as people to let the world know, hey, in your eyes, we look the greatest. We have our faults, we have our problems too, but at least we can work on it. Yeah, but now there's going to be a couple of rotten apples that'll try to sidetrack us and throw us away. But all in all, you know, we've been struggling from day one. So, and for the people in the LGBTQ community, however they pronounce it, I know how they feel as people, as human beings. Everybody wants to be respected. You can't do to a person just because their sexuality is different from mine. I can't treat them like shit. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I can't treat them like, oh, God said this. God, no, because I believe now, the older I get, I believe that God has a purpose and a reason for everybody on earth. And the main thing Jesus taught us was to love one another. But we can't love one another when we got that almighty devil out there doing things with people, making them rich. And when you get rich, you forget. Now, let's face it, I'm going to be honest. Rich people do not, they forget. Some people are born into richness. So they don't know what it's like to be poor. They don't know what it's like to have neighbors that are struggling, you know. And then when they get that almighty dollar, they forget. So I just wish people would take more time out being kinder to each other. That don't mean you have to go out there and hug a person every day. Just like they said, I've been hearing people on you to say hello to a person. You know,
Just
it,
smile too.
just
Smile at
smile. Yeah, we don't have to sit back and just because we got money, uh, we're better than everybody. Because as sure as you can have it, as sure it can be taken from you. And when you die and leave this earth, that money's not going with you. That materialistic shit's not going with you. So you know, it doesn't hurt to even doing a small thing like leaving. We have to have, like I explained before, our grocery cards. We have to have a quarter to get a grocery card. When you come out of that store with that grocery card, you see somebody coming into the store, just let them have the grocery card. Just pass that little quarter ain't gonna kill you. you know, you're not going to get broke giving a person a cart with a quarter in it. Pass it on. And if they want to give you the quarter, just say, no, thank you, and tell them to pass that on. Sooner or later, you can get something bigger. Like I told a story about this young man. I didn't know him from Adam's house cat. I had a couple of items. He was paying for his groceries ahead of me, and he paid for mine. And I got ready. He said, no, just pass it on. And last week I did that for a family, a lady in the store. She had a couple of items. I had it put it on my card. I paid for it. Pass it on. I felt good about doing that. She even smiled. It made her day. You know, the little
I,
bitty things that we can do in this world.
I've actually done it as well. There was a lady that was needing she was needing and she had a little child, and so what I did was she was getting ready to put like two items back. So what I did was I just paid for those two items so she could, because it was for her child.
Right. Miss Brown has says, really, you have to buy. No, we don't. We're not buying it, dear. What it is, you put in your quarter. They're all hooked up together. To unhook them, you put in a quarter. You you go shopping with your cart, and when you finish with it, you put it back up to the cart area. You push your little thing in, and you get your quarter back. So what? It's not mine. It's sort of, I don't know what we call it. What would they call that? You're just using something, but you're getting your money back. So
Yeah.
yeah, but no, those are yeah, and that's crazy. That sounds crazy. It might sound crazy, but you have to have a quarter. And I look at the people that go to the store sometimes, and they may not have a quarter. They may just have enough to buy their food, and they can't put that food in a quarter. Oh my goodness!
Mhm.
Some just learned that there was another mass shooting in a church in Laguna Woods, Los Angeles, California. Let me. I got the local news here on my TV. I'm gonna go in and find. I'm gonna go into LA and see what they say about that too. Yeah, but the little quarters and the for using the card, everybody thought that was crazy, But in a way, I see. But and I tell you why they did it. Honestly, people were walking off with the grocery carts. They were taking them off the lot. People
Sure
that didn't have a car, way home or something like that, you know, that didn't have a way home, and they would push the cart 5, 6 blocks down the street, and boom, they they leave the cart there. Carts be found all over town. So what they went to, so that's what they did. I'm just saying. Mm-mm.
I know down here we have stores like that where you have to put a quarter in to get
Quarter
a
in, yeah,
basket.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sad. That is so sad. Another shooting, and I sometimes wonder if that stuff is done because of what they see on the news, or is it copycatting, or are the people just getting brave enough to just do things? You know, just say,
I think it's all three of them. I think it's they're doing it to see if how many people that they can kill, and then they're seeing this stuff on TV, and so they feel like that it's okay.
well, well,
And
that.
we all know that it's not. But I mean, it's like they feel like they won't get caught. Basically,
Hmm.
they're doing it to see if they can get away with it.
Yeah. Mm, let me see. I got KBK8. That's Bakersfield, California. Let's see. No, so far it hasn't. I don't see anything yet. But I'll be looking out for that story, Zion. I'll be looking out for that story. But like I'm saying is, people nowadays, we're so adapt to be judgmental of things that we know that it's wrong. So we talk about it, but we don't do anything about it. That's another thing. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's coming up on the news. Uh, the abortion right issue, along with that, you know, do do people believe in abortions? I don't know. Some people do, some people don't. I it's a woman's right to decide what she wants to do with her body. So far as that goes, you know, I'm all for Roe v. Wade. Don't overturn it. Leave it alone, people. You're just going to cause a. It's like somebody's working to send us back into the dark stone ages. You see what I'm saying? It's
Oh
like
yeah.
people are trying to push their agenda on making this country a second world or third world country right now. And why? Why? Yeah. Our
Well,
women don't.
I believe that a woman has a right to choose what she does
Hmm.
with her body.
Hmm.
And I also feel like that they should leave the Roe versus Wade, because then people are gonna people, if a person really want to get rid of their child, they're gonna go into doing something or going somewhere, and that end up dying or hurting themselves and all that. So I feel like they should leave it, because then it's safe.
Right. And like Zion says, people are being desensitized and complacent about things that go on in the world when it affects them, until it affects them. And then once it affects them, then they want to come out shouting, "Hello, oh Lord, why?" You know, well, it's been going on. You just haven't paid attention to it. See, hate crimes have been going on for years. People have been shooting each other for years. We've got a country that our economy is ass backwards now. Instead of being the greatest, we're starting to be look like the poorest now. So, and then you had the pandemic, which shut us off from everybody social wise. We're social animals. We believe in going out and having fun at a party, going to the parks, uh, going to restaurants, sitting down, eating, enjoying a meal. When that was taken away from us, it looked like all the boog. As well, I'm gonna use somebody's phrase, Lord have mercy. All the evilness came out. I was gonna say something else, but I'm gonna change my mind about that. It's just like the devil rose his head. It's like the devil rose his head, and
It,
we just.
it, to me, it's like to me, it's like once the pandemic happened, it was like you were isolated. So whatever the devil wanted to do, he could do, because
Mhm.
it's like he's the type that likes to get a person isolated. If you're not a a strong person,
Mhm.
it's like he can get into your mind, and your thoughts and all of this. But I'm not saying that it's all the devil. I feel like too is we as we people. It's like we allow this kind of things to take over.
Well, do we allow it to take over because of what we're afraid that other people might think of us if we thought differently or did things differently?
Yeah, I believe that. I do believe that. I think if we're sometimes afraid to say how we really feel about different situations and things that's going on in this world. We feel like that if really say how we feel, that we're going to be chastised or talked about and all that. And a lot of times people don't want to have to deal with it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Instead of just going ahead and saying how you feel and dealing with whatever the consequences of what you're saying and
Yeah,
how you truly feel.
yeah. Well, Zion makes a point here that for some, when it hits home, they become despondent because we're desensitized and complacent. When you have no hope, you don't take action. Just shaking my head. Uh, what causes us to lose hope as human beings? That's a good question. What would cause us to lose all hope to where we don't care about a person's well being anymore, or if they had a place to stay or to eat or food or anything? What causes us to be that way? You know?
Sometimes I feel what causes that is when you put your trust in everything, people, the things that you have, and then once it's gone, it's like you no longer have that hope.
In other words, putting your trust in man, which the Bible say we shouldn't do.
Yes.
But
And putting your trust
on
in other and putting your trust in your cars and your money and
money,
your
yeah. Well,
banking
it's that's
accounts and all of
materialistic
this
thing.
stuff.
We should never worship
No.
idols. We should never worship idols. I understand money is an idol, cars are an idol, but we have a show called American Idols. I wonder why that is. See what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's all I'll say.
Because we're idolizing whatever is thinking that we're gonna be able to get up here and get money and all this stuff or get a contract or whatever.
Yes.
That's why I feel like that they have it called American Idol.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to the church part yet, guys. I know it had to happen because they're talking about it. Maybe I'll go to the San Diego News. They might talk about it. I'm in let's see, Sacramento, California, Stockton and Modesto. Oh, Montreal, Fresno. Let's go to Fresno. I'll see what they got up here. I haven't seen anything yet. I'm just waiting for it to come through. But like I was saying, though, um, it this world, our country, our people, we've been fighting each other for so damn long. It's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. And now it's getting to the point to where things are opening up. Now they're making it afraid for people to go out and want to enjoy themselves. Concerts, uh, movie theaters, grocery shopping, even to the park, because that person that's been hemmed up all these years, these last 2 years, as they say, through the pandemic, they snapped for some reason. So now that they're out there, we don't know who to look at and who to say it. Uh,
And then too, it's like the people that's wearing masks. You really don't know who's behind those masks.
hmm
You don't really. I mean, you can't really see. Like, say if something were to go down or something like that, there's no way of you identifying them either.
Right. Right. Well, there used to be a time when you couldn't even wear a damn mask in a store or in a bank and all that stuff. But like I said before, with that pandemic, you had to wear a mask, and people got, I guess they got lackadaisical with that, you know. it,
And
it became
it's a
it
scary.
became a normal thing. It
Yeah,
became to watch somebody in a mask and see somebody in a mask. You don't think about what's behind their brain and what's in their brain while they're wearing that mask.
hmm. And like
Mm,
I say, it makes it. I mean, it makes you really. It makes you scared for one
right.
thing, and it makes it hard for you to be like, okay, I can't let my. It's like you're so wounded up and all of that. It's like you're dealing with stress and anxiety and all this stuff because you don't know if you're going to come home or not.
Yeah.
You don't know if, working, like I said, working in retail, it's like it's making it to a point where it's like you have to watch everybody. You
hmm
don't know who is going to do what. And it's like a fear.
mm
It's like you don't, I mean, it's like you don't know. You don't know if you're going to come home. You don't know if you're going to come home to your family
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah,
and people who care for you. It's like, okay, look, it's like like I say, it has me on high alert now.
yeah, yeah. I'm googling this right now, Miss B Town Hester. You know that it says church shooting in California. One dead, four critically wounded at a shooting at a church. Well, like I said, this world is going stomp down nuts. Stomp down nuts. Mm-mm-mm. Well, that saying right there, trust no one. I want to give my trust. I want to give people benefit of the doubt. I'll put it that way. Far as trusting them with my life, no. No, no. I can't. You ain't gonna tell me. No. I ain't gonna trust you with my life. No. Mm-mm. I got your back. I'll be honest with you. I got your back. But if them bullets get to flying, I'm gone.
And they gonna be gone too.
Yeah, they gonna be gone too.
My thing is, if you see me running, you better be running.
Well, that's yeah, that's true. That's true.
But like I'm not saying nothing, you just start running.
Mm, mm. Well, let's see. It said a group of churchgoers in Orange County stopped a mass shooter after he opened fire in a luncheon. They hog-tied him with extension cord until the authorities could arrive. That's kind of funny. But one person was dead, at least five people hurt, four critically, one with minor injuries after a shooting at a church in Laguna Woods area of Orange County, according to the Orange County Sheriff Departments. The four victims critically wounded, one with minor injuries. The OCSD said on Twitter, all victims are adults and are en route to the hospital, and one victim was deceased at the scene. My.
Oh my.
Oh, Jesus. Mm. And like I said, people are just doing ordinary things. They're going out doing ordinary things. That is so sad. It is so sad. Um, I don't know. More prayer and just keep the faith, baby. That's all I can say. Keep the faith, baby, because
Mm,
the world is a wicked place, and a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people have sold their soul to the devil
mm.
just to have the richness and be the most popular and be the most well liked and all that kind of stuff in this world. So yeah, thank you guys. I don't know what to do right now. I think I'm gonna get my heart together, my mind together. I'll probably be playing some music. You know, it's 10 o'clock here. I don't know how late it is where you guys are at, but I might come back on and just play music because that's my out when I see tragedy like this and
Mm.
hear of tragedy like this. I'm just gonna go back and try to think of a better time when people cared about each other and music was great. You didn't hear all this bang bang shoot 'em up bullshit in music and calling women the B word and the women they had some women calling me and stuff too in music. So, but Jesus. Yeah, I want to thank everybody that came up tonight, though. Hello there, Mike Caldwell. Yes, I always say a prayer. Trust me, I say a prayer. Mike Caldwell, how are you doing? Did you want to come up on the link? Uh, Yes, life is really, it's gotten to be you know, it's more complicated. It's not as complicated. It's just more uncertain. Put it that way. It's not complicated. Life is not complicated. You know, it's uncertain. Okay, Miss Brown Hester, I will be there to look for you. I'll be there for you to look for that topic, and I will give you my opinions on it also, as you say. Yes, that's true. One thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain at all. uh, okay, all right then, all right. Yeah, okay. See, that's another thing. We can agree to agree on certain things. Thank you, Mandisa. Thank you. There's other things that I could touch on, but right now and then I was just talking about the stuff that happened in Boston, and then now I found out about California, and I think it's time for me to break away from this madness and get on here and do what I do best: talk trash and play some music. So, with that being said, I want to thank everybody that came up, that gave me a thumbs up, to like the video, and my shared. I was being shared. Thank you for sharing me. Um, like I said, I try not to be controversial, but there are things going on now that I may have to speak upon later on. But my heart isn't in it. My heart isn't in it, people. I don't feel like bouncing back and forth and cursing and swearing and anything. I just want to come up and give my opinion and ask you guys' opinion on it. And Miguel, I thank you for coming up. You know,
No
I
problem,
appreciate you.
no
You
problem.
guys, that she's my moderator on YouTube. So don't y'all don't be wondering what's going on and none of that stuff. Okay. And with that, with that being said, once again, thank all you can. Miss B Town Hester, you really have good conversations. You really have me thinking thoughts too. I want to thank Zion. Zion, you're great. That's all I can say about you. Zion Movements, thank you. Um, I will be back later on tonight. I don't know what time. If you get the notifications, I hope everybody gets the notifications. Miss Brown, baby, thank you for coming up. You know, even if you just gave me a click in the view and listened to me rattle on for a few minutes and then left, I thank you guys for coming in and doing that. So, with that being said, I will see you again tonight on these YouTube streets, and maybe we'll be having a party that instead of crying in our beer. No crying in our beer. That's one thing. We're not going to cry in our beer, folks. So I just want to.
The only thing I would like to say is just remember that this is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, it is.
So
That's thank you, Miguel. See, that's what I'm saying. You got me on my toes again. It is Mental Awareness Month, and let's not forget about autism too. You know,
yes.
children with autism. So it's another thing with that. There's a lot going on in the world besides just sitting around and cursing each other out and acting a fool on here. So if we can get into that and stay prayed up, people, stay prayed up. And Mike Hardwell, thank you, thank you once again for coming up. Yes, Miss Brown Esther says, "Amen, Miguel." Okay, I'm gonna Zion movement. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my night. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. And like I said, I'm gonna get ready to set me up some music and get up here and have me a little party hardy. So, with that being said, love, peace, and aces to you all. And I will see you on these YouTube streets again. Goodbye. Bye, Miguel.